as soon as they can see you, you know, line up, and if they can see you behind the curtain in the back lining up, they try to, you know. But it's definitely as soon as, you know, you get on top of those stairs and that line up off the stairs into the stage, they're looking at faces and attitudes and body language right then. Yeah, definitely posture.
I mean, they start talking
language.
like, okay, there goes Joe, there goes Johnny, let me see. And then they're just staying on them as they walk.
Shit.
You know, so
yeah, one of the things that I noticed right away with one show I was doing, and Rope Man, he was one of the judges. It was the Atlantic City Pro that I won, and I came out. They called my name, and I came out for the first one, for the first time. And as soon as I hit the stage, I see him go like, "What? Like that's Johnny?" Because he was like, "Okay, here comes Johnny. We know who Johnny looked like." You know, it was one of my best looks. I won the show, and like I said, as soon as my foot stepped the stage, I always find the judges first. Step on stage, find the judges, look them right in the eye, and I tell the tale right then if they're going to pay attention to you or not. And if they're not, you make them pay attention to you. And so in saying that, as soon as I look, and I just seen his eye go, whoa, and it was on from there.
Posing is so important. Although bodybuilding is the foundation of it, and it's about balance. If you don't know how to show it, and you don't have that confidence when you walk out on the stage, you can see it, you can feel it. When I'm judging someone and I see somebody walk in and their head is down and then they're hesitating, it puts a state of my mind that they're not prepared. When Johnny walks in, he walks in with that chest up, that head up, and he eye contacts the judge, and he knows his stuff is right. He knows when he hit that front double bicep that all eyes are on him. He knows when he does that quarter turn, he's just like bam, but it takes practice. We just started back, and now we're going back to back to back to back, practicing and practicing and practicing, and that's what makes a winner. That's what I think.
This is posing practice is so important, so you have your own direction. So when you get there, you're just listening, you know, to the head judge or whatever judge is calling out the poses, and you dub the head judge for your coach, or your posing coach, and you hear their voice instead of his voice, and you just go into your mind and just create your practice, and just you and your coach, nobody else is around, and just listen to call outs, you know, and go through what you've been doing all this time, all this practice makes such a difference, I'm telling you, and such a difference in mental confidence that you're on stage. Who cares what everybody else is doing? You're there to really represent yourself, represent the companies and the people who help you get there, you know, and it's time to show out once you get on stage. Oh yeah! You have to say everything is going real great, and today we did some posing here in Destination. Only my second time in the posing room, and it's awesome. It's really great, really comfortable, and that's important. Also, every atmosphere that you train or pose or do anything toward getting ready for a goal, the atmosphere is so important that it's right and that you feel good, and it does here. But it was a really good session. And we brought Joe Mackey in, who's getting ready for a New York Pro. And it was good for me because he's quite a bit heavier than I am, bigger guy. And I'm never the biggest guy on stage, you know. I just more in not out muscle guys for the muscle density more than I do size wise. So he's quite a bit taller and quite a bit bigger size. So it's good for me to practice against guys like him, you know, now. So then when I get on stage, it's not a distraction. It's not a, oh man, you know, not a weird feeling having a guy who's, you know, 20, 30 pounds bigger or heavier than I am. Not necessarily bigger, but heavier than I am standing next to me. It'll feel comfortable because I've practiced with him next to me. That's why I liked it when me and Branch competed, because it was the same thing. He was so much heavier than I was. So as we practiced, I got, comfortable with that. And, you know, once you get on stage, you know, posing with that guy, I really don't care who's next to me after that. It really don't make a difference. Except for one time I posed next to Ronnie Coleman in a Russian Grand Prix. Now that made a difference. Now that was a distraction. And then we're on stage. We're standing there, and he goes, "Hey Johnny, hey man, do I got veins out? Do I look good?" And I'm looking at him like, I looked right at him. I was like, "Really, Ronnie?" I said, "Man, it seemed like you flew from a different planet and killed all of us every time we, you know, compete in a show. You know, and it's bad enough that I got to stand here next to you, but now you want me to look at you too, you know?" I mean, I'm like, really? And, but then I realized also in that moment, looking at him in his eyes, that everybody second guessed themselves. Even Mr. Olympia at the time second guessed what he looked like. So it's not weird to second guess yourself. It's actually a good thing because you're second checking and you're making sure that everything's correct. And that's what a winner and a professional does, is have backup, you know, somebody else looking, or, you know, not afraid to, you know, ask questions and find out the answers, so then you can adjust yourself and make it perfect.